And before we begin, I just have to ask you guys, if you can just watch 5 minutes of this video, that would help me out a ton. So please just watch at least 5 minutes, help me reach my watch hour goal. So every little bit helps, guys. And also, this is my subjective list. You guys might have varying opinions on where I put which figures, and that's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. That's what makes the Transformers community great, is because we all have opinions and we all love Transformers. And so your list might be different, and I mean, if you want, just let me know down in the comments what you think, but if you really disagree, make your own list and let me check it out. But I am very willing to defend my points, so just have a nice discussion down in the comments. Remember, keep it civil, everyone. So yeah, 2 months later, here we go. So starting it off, here we have a few honorable mentions here, being the Studio Series 86 Sludge, Scourge, and Soundwave. So the triple S. Jeez. But yeah, Scourge didn't make the list because I only like him a ton now because of his upgrade kit and customization. Soundwave just had a few issues. The head on my copy likes to fall off. And Sludge just being a bit too wibbly with the leg joints, at least on some people's copies. Mine is decent. It's not the worst and it's not the best. So these are all good figures, and you know, you could substitute them in or out for the last guy on the list, which is what we'll be doing next. So number 23 was none other than the Legacy Leader Class Transmetal 2 Megatron. This thing rules. I'm so happy to finally have this guy in my collection. Now, I would have liked for him to have some chrome. Most of my issues come with this guy just not being better than other figures in this list, and he's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but he does have just a few issues that do prevent this guy from ranking any higher on this list. But yeah, fantastic figure though. Now coming in at spot number 22, we have Gamer Edition Megatron. And this guy is really great. Just a few issues that I had with this figure, being with his shoulder cannon, having to clip off the tabs on the back of his legs, and just a few other minor issues with this guy. But otherwise, such a fun figure, and I really enjoyed this thing a ton. Now, spot number 21 was a little more difficult. Now, you can use either of these figures in this spot, and you guys must be going nuts, because how could figures as good as Tarn and Bludgeon be all the way at number 21? And I'll tell you this, is based on the hype, I think these figures are a bit too overhyped considering what they're doing. They're great figures, but just don't pay 70 plus for Tarn. Bludgeon's a good figure, and I think he might be a little more worth your money because of the sword, but either way, both of these figures are fantastic. It's just the other figures were better in my personal opinion. Now, surprisingly, this is the only knockoff. Okay, his thing fell off. This is the Byway Sentinel Prime with his weapons kit and everything. This thing surprised me so much and was one of my favorite figures in my collection. And it's just because of the experiences that I've had with this figure. He still remains to have my favorite short I've ever made. So go check that out. It is the one with the beach. So if you see that, that's the one. But this is a fantastic figure. Between the weapons, the overall sculpt, design, transformation, articulation, everything. It's just fantastic. Now for a humongous figure, which is at the very back of my sort of display area, or my review station here. I'm reaching back. He's very large, but Omega Supreme here is so good. I mean, he is fantastic. All of the features this guy has, between his blasting and his head that pops off to become a headmaster, and all of the cool modes and cross compatibility that this guy has, is so fantastic. And I bought this knowing that he was missing parts. I don't care. He's fantastic, and he just looks great. Pick one up for the right price. Just like Don't buy one without the head, because then it's just like, then you have a headless Omega Supreme. But yeah, this is my first ever Omega Supreme, and I love it. So for number 18, we actually have another Unicron Trilogy toy. You're going to see a bit of a running theme here with this list, but this is Demolisher, and I don't have his Minicon with me right now. He's in the other room, but this guy is so much fun to handle, and just, he is repeatedly on my desk, just back and forth, tank, robot, missile, fire. It's just fantastic. Everything about this guy is awesome, and you need one of these. Even if they make a legacy one, it won't live up to the awesomeness that this guy did, because he's just so chunky and solid and fantastic overall. So great figure. And if you don't know, now you know. It's number 17, and we are kicking it off with Bumblebee. Bumblebee is so much fun to mess around with, and the custom, in my opinion, just made it even better and even easier for me just to enjoy this guy even more. So I love this figure. It's probably the best Bumblebee mold we've ever gotten, ever, in terms of movie designs. And yeah, this guy just does everything right, and I love this thing. He's great. So it's hard for me to actually believe I'm putting this guy here, but Blitzwing is number 16, which means the figures ahead of him must be really good, and they are. But this figure is fantastic. It's just, I don't know, some parts of him that just love to pop off, like his leg, and, you know, just a few QC parts that could just be a little better. But overall, this thing is a fantastic toy. Just a few minor issues keeping it from being in that tier above. Y'all are gonna go crazy, but this is Mutant Tigertron. This guy actually should have been way higher on the list, to be completely honest with you, but I had to keep myself a little bit realistic because this is one of my favorite figures in my entire collection. Call me crazy, but this is genuinely one of the best molds Hasbro has ever put out. Ever. Between the absolute solidity of the toy, to the articulation, to the transformation, to the alt mode, he goes 10 out of 10 on every single aspect. And so, like, everything, just, he's so good. Please buy one, because he's very cheap too. There's nothing, I find no flaws with this guy at all. So he's great. Coming in at number 14 is Masterpiece Prowl. Now, his gun doesn't like to tab in, and nor does his chest, but this guy still surpasses all the figures that you've seen already, and he's just such a fantastic toy. And now I want more Masterpiece toys. Dadgummit! What do you know? It's another Unicron Trilogy toy, and this one, perhaps the flagship of it all. This Cybertron Optimus Prime. Now, he does have loose hips, but that's every copy of this figure because of the huge backpack. But I don't care. This thing's awesome, and the silver painted guns are just even better. And if you want to actually pick this guy up, I'll have a link in the description. You can buy this exact figure for your own collection. And, you know, I can paint other stuff for you if you'd like, but talking about the figure, it's just so good, and I don't see any company, not even a third-party company, upping this, because I think a company did try, and it did not succeed. Another animated figure. Can you believe it? He's Shockwave. He's the first ever animated figure that I made a video about on this channel, and he still remains my second favorite Decepticon, and I have like 6 now, so he's still right up there, except for this next one on the list that you'll see. Yeah, he's just, the entire concept of this character is super cool, and the fact that they executed perfectly is a step above, and something that is so commendable. And it's just awesome to see that this guy was fully realized into a toy, and the toy was way better than I could have ever expected it to be. For number 11, we have the Studio Series 15th Anniversary Ironhide. He has been given a bit of a little paint job, but this looks great. Ironhide is one of the best Studio Series figures that the entire line has to offer, and there's a reason why he goes for so much nowadays. Is because A, he's the only version that you can find, and B, he's just a great toy, and he does everything so well, and I just love him for that, and I love him for being, you know, a great Ironhide toy, and a fun toy in general. Folks, we have entered the top 10, so if you want to call everything else honorable mentions and say this was the top 10, then you can. And we're starting off with Studio Series Jazz. Tigramus Prime, I know you're already jealous, but yep, this is a great figure. I love it. He's great. He's fantastic. I love it. He's the best Studio Series Deluxe that the entire line has to offer. Challenge me. You can't name a better one. Not one. Because he is just so good and so well made. And it's a shame that not many people own this figure nowadays because he came out so long ago. Even though he had another reissue, I think we need one more. Okay, I'm preparing to get flamed for putting this way lower than most people would expect. But this is Armada Optimus. He's a great figure. Don't get me wrong. But the figures ahead of him are just better. They're just better. And I love this toy, even though mine came missing that part there. And, you know, obviously you guys know about his shoulder problem. But he's a great toy, just not exactly my favorite. And I saw some people had this guy at #1 of the year. This toy doesn't connect with me like the others do. And, you know, he has a great presence and a great quality figure, which is why he's as high as he is. And I think he still is a fantastic figure. And, you know, there probably is room for him to go higher, just not for me. Another figure that people had really high. It's this guy. Yeah, he's fantastic. He is the best Studio Series Optimus we've ever gotten, without a doubt. I don't care about the alt mode problems. You don't display your figures in alt mode. I know Transformers should be able to have a good alt mode, but I don't care. People just should lay off him because he's great and he is a perfect representation of the character from the movie, and I love him for that. And the little upgrade kit I got makes him even better, even though I'm not even taking that into account. So, yeah, I love this thing. I absolutely love this thing. He's great. He's just great. And the custom made him even better. Another figure, which a few people know that I own, is Transcraft Mohican. Why does this figure rank above all of the rest? It's because for the price, quality, and engineering that went into this figure, just blows my mind. Articulation. He has an ab crunch. He has butterfly joints, ankle tilts, toe up, toe down, complete and utter elbow bend, just opening mouth. Yes, he parts forms, but so does Netflix B, and people call him great. So why can't we do the same for him? He's great. Buy one, please. This thing is fantastic. The bike mode is fantastic. He's way better than the core class. He won't scale with them, but I think you're going to find a great figure in this. Trust me. And just outside the top 5 is the last animated figure to scratch this list. Lugnut. This is you guys' favorite. And this is my favorite. I love this thing. Everything he does. He is the most solid animated figure I own, without a doubt. He is chunky, he has clicky ratchets, he has cool gimmicks. He has all of the above. And he's just, the one problem this figure has, the one singular problem this figure has, is that he's too small. That's it. Nothing else is wrong about this figure. It's just his size. And so, if we're not taking that into consideration because they didn't care about scale back then this is a 10 out of 10 figure. But who beat this? Now, I actually had to flip the camera around just to fit this huge thing on camera. To be honest, I thought it'd be a little bigger. Does that mean it's small? No, this thing is gigantic. But this thing is probably the best Titan we've gotten in years. Through the quality of the transformation, My figure does not have very good QC, but just assuming that everybody else's had better than mine, and just everything that this big girl does, it's without a doubt a top 5 Transformer figure of 2023. Coming in at number 4 is Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. All through this year, or this past year, I've been talking about, man, once I get Gamer Optimus, man, that figure looks so good. I'd be willing to pay so much for this figure. Yeah, it's worth the hype. It's the best version of this figure we've ever gotten from Hasbro, and I love this thing so much. Everything that this guy does is perfect. I don't care about the small little flaws here and there. People just need to stop criticizing things like that, because they're just minor flaws in the face of a fantastic figure that I recommend almost above any other figure. Almost. Now, I told you guys when I got this figure that it would be a best of year contender, and I didn't lie, because he is in third place. Third place for this big chunkster. Megatron from the Energon series is one of the best figures that the entire line had to offer, and if you can find this guy for a good price, please buy it, because he just does so much that's awesome. And I got mine complete for $35 US. 35. Everything, electronics functioning and all. This guy does everything great, from the transformation to the robot to the alt mode to just the quality of the toy. He's great. He's just great. But who's in front of him? Considering how much I've had this figure in my hands the past few weeks, I would assume that Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus would take the number 1 spot. But he took number 2, which is weird because this figure is so good. All the people who passed on him, I'm telling you right now, you don't look very smart, because this is the best Commander class we've gotten yet. Don't even give me that Rodimus Prime crap, because he's better. He's better. He's better than Skyfire. He's better than Menasor, Motormaster, and he's better than Skylynx. He's just good. He's fantastic. Everything that this guy does just exudes premium quality, and I feel like there's just so much love poured into this figure, and I can feel it because he's great. He's just such a solid, beautiful Transformers figure. Number 1. Who could it be? This isn't a joke. Nope. I told you. This guy is a best of year contender. Was I lying? Clearly not. He is the best figure almost in my entire collection. I was not expecting this. When I first got the figure, I was not expecting this. I didn't know what this was until I opened it and transformed this thing for the first time. Then my eyes were opened to what a true, beautiful, amazing, elegant transformation, just what it could be, what it could look like. And, it kind of raised my expectations for other figures. And just everything this guy does, 10 out of 10. He's so good. Please go buy this figure. Please go buy this figure. Because, yeah, he good. He really good. He best of year. That's what he is. And so, I know that this may have been a bit of a surprise, but I promise you guys, you will not be let down by this Transformers figure. Ultra Magnus is great, Nemesis is great, all of the Optimuses are great, but they just don't hold a candle to this toy. This toy right here. If they made this Voyager class, oh my gosh. So some company, get on this, make this figure Voyager class. I will buy it. I will have 2 of these. I will own 2 of these. But I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. And again, Nemesis video coming soon, I swear. I'm working on it. I'm trying, I promise. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to have a bunch of videos for you guys coming out in the next few days. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.